Thanks for staying with us. The Falcons will try to avenge their loss to the Saints tomorrow night in the Georgia Dome. And both Georgia and Georgia Tech are playing in their conference championship games this weekend. I cannot believe football season is almost over.
I know, it's crazy.
I know.
You know, Georgia's completely turned it around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fox Sports 1670's Bill Shanks and our own Tucker Sargent battle it out over those topics and more in this week's Rant and Rave.
Issue 1 tomorrow night at the Georgia Dome. It's the Atlanta Falcons against the enemy, the New Orleans Saints. Tucker, this is a big ball game because the Falcons have to have a little revenge on their minds after what happened a couple of weeks ago in New Orleans, a very tough loss. I think they'll win this game because they do know how big this rivalry is. There may be some Saints fans in the Georgia Dome, but you know what? They'll be drowned out by all the drunk Falcons fans who will hate the fact those Cajuns are coming to the South.
Yeah, they will hate it, and after that loss, they've been waiting to get back out there and play them again. A lot of Falcons fans are thinking this might turn into a blowout, Bill, but I think it's going to be another close game, and since the Falcons are at home in front of that raucous crowd, they're going to take the game away and win it for revenge.
All right, let's move to college football now for issue 2. There are a couple of coaching vacancies, of course, in the SEC, but 2 prominent jobs. Auburn, Tucker's Auburn Tigers, and also the Tennessee Volunteers. Which one of those 2 is the better job? Well, I'm going to say Tennessee only because I think the facilities are very good, and I just hate Auburn so much, even though I hate Tennessee too. Look, you know why Auburn's not as good a job right now, Tucker? Because of Nick Saban.
Yep, Nick Saban's a tough man to beat, and when you go to Auburn, it's not wins or losses, it's how you do against Nick Saban. So in that sense, the job there at Auburn is tougher, but if you look at it as a program standpoint, Derek Dooley didn't do anything to build Tennessee. At least Gene Chizik and his recruiting staff built that team up, and with a good coach, they could win 9 or 10 games with the talent.
All right, issue 3 now. The ACC Championship on Saturday in Charlotte. Well, there'll be probably about 30,000 people in the stands watching that game between Florida State and Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets backed into the championship game, but they're still going. It's not like they're going to turn everything down. And look, FSU, the heavy favorite in this game, they should win this ball game, but you have to be careful about a couple of things. Number 1, they haven't played an offense like this in a couple of years. And 2, their defensive coordinator, Mark Stoops, just left to take the job at Kentucky. Now, he'll coach them on Saturday, but still, sometimes that can be a little bit of a problem there for a team who's losing a coordinator like that.
Sure, I'm going to go with Paul Johnson's Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to get the upset over Florida State. They sneak into this game after Miami's self-imposed probation without going to the bowl game, and now Georgia Tech, they got their butts beat against Georgia last week, and they're going to come out angry, and I think they play Florida State well, and they take advantage of that disabled defense.
Well, that'll be awful if they win that ball game, but Florida State will win. All right, finally, Georgia versus Alabama. Let me see. Who may I'm going to take the Georgia Bulldogs, Tucker. Yes, I know that's not the chic thing to do, but Georgia's going to win the ball game because their defense is just as good as Alabama's. And despite the Georgia coach, the Bulldogs will be the SEC champions and will play Notre Dame in 5 weeks.
I think this game's a pick 'em. It could go either way, but since you picked Georgia, I'm going to pick Alabama. It's a safe pick. Alabama is a really good team, but they do play a really good defense this week, and when that defense for Georgia gets after A.J. McCarron time after time and again, and that offense for Georgia scores as many points, Alabama's going to have trouble winning this one. It's not going to be easy.
That's an Auburn guy picking Alabama. Something's wrong with that. All right, we'll see you on Friday night for high school football with the End Zone, brought to you by Safe Auto.